And we say, hang on, it will be over soon, because there's enough momentum going that sometimes you just have to sort of ride it out. But the resources of who you are so powerful that we know that eventually something will happen that will help you to reconnect. And so what we always tell people when they are new to this work is, don't take the issue that is the most difficult and start with that. Start with easier things. Show yourself on subjects that you don't feel so lost in, that you have the ability to feel better. So now what we're saying to you is, don't try to jump all the way from despair up into the relief of appreciation. That's too big of a jump on this issue. Just do your best to find something that feels a little better. And so what might feel better to you might be anger. You might say, hey, I put a lot into this relationship and I did my best and I was honest every step along the way and I don't deserve this. And even though it doesn't make the person come back, you do feel better. That's the answer to your question. You've got to find a thought which causes a vibration within you that gives you a feeling of relief, which is the releasing of resistance. But most importantly, you've got to acknowledge, I found this thought deliberately, and I do feel better in finding it. And I don't plan on staying here in my feeling of revenge or hatred or anger. But I got to tell you, it sure feels better than abandonment. It sure feels better than unworthiness. It sure feels better than that powerless feeling that I can't guide my own life and that something that I really, really want I have no control about. It sure does feel better. That's what somebody leaving you in a relationship, that's the greatest damage that it does. It says to you, you want this thing that you can't have. You want something that you can't control. And is there anything that makes you feel more powerless than to want something that another person has a say in and they're not in agreement with you? And so what we want you to begin to understand is that they might have a say in whether they stay with you or not, but they don't have a say in how you feel about it, because you have the ability to work it around in a way that makes you feel better. And when you do, what begins to happen is you radiate this sense of who you are, which then attracts somebody who appreciates this sense of who you are. So you just beat the drum of it. I feel despair. I shouldn't have been left behind. This was wrong. I don't know what to do. How will I ever find another that feels as good as this felt? I thought this was the one that was going to be the one, and I put so much of myself into it, and now I don't know what to do. There's true despair in that, and understandable. And then you say, wait a minute, I deserve better than this. This should not have happened to me. I deserve a different kind of relationship than this. Maybe there's something a whole lot better than this coming to me. Certainly the person that I want to spend the rest of my life with wouldn't discard all of this so easily. I must have been barking up the wrong tree and just didn't know it. Maybe I'm pretty glad that this has happened when it's happened. I'm glad that I didn't get more invested in this. I could have invested a lifetime in this before I find out this. And at least now it's early, and you see what we're getting at? You just take every jab that you can and you reach as far as you can find for one simple thing. Not to put the person down and not to get the world to agree with you, but to try to find something that gives you some sensation of relief. And before you know it, you can jump from despair into anger. And before you know it, you can jump from anger into hopefulness. And the minute you make that jump, you've taken a big enough leap in your vibrational journey that all kinds of things start shifting around. Very often, that much shift causes even a rejoining of the relationship that you thought was lost. In other words, it's amazing how many relationships can be repaired from a place of you coming back into alignment with you, because it was your disalignment with you, your misalignment with you, that caused it to fall apart to begin with. what happens with most people in relationships is two people stand there, both wanting to feel good, both holding the other one responsible for the way they feel. And we say, that is so dumb. Because they can't vibrate for you, and it's giving them all of your power. And so this one blames that one, this one blames that one, and nobody's happy. Where if one of you would say, I'm no longer going to hold you responsible for the way I feel. I'm holding myself responsible for the way I feel. Wouldn't you like to hear that from everybody that's up close to you? Wouldn't that just be like fresh air? Well, don't wait around. They're not going to do it to you. But you could give it to them, and you can get the same fresh air by saying to them, I want you to be happy, but I'm not going to let your unhappiness be the basis of my unhappiness, because I want too much to be happy, you see. Yes.
Thank you.
Yes, indeed.